You know, now that I've realized, thinking of a good video idea is really tough. And after a week of brainstorming, I came up with my top 10 least favorite football clubs. Now hear me out. My brain has just completely died. There was supposed to be a Champions League recap coming out last week. I just forgot to record the Barcelona bit, and it just never came out. So I've settled down to my top 10 least favorite football clubs. Hopefully you enjoy. Now getting into this top 10, it is a very rigid top 10 regardless. My 10th place goes to Fulham. Now you might be thinking, why does a Liverpool fan not like Fulham? My main argument here is they've been hard to beat. Over the last couple games against them, they've put us through hell. Our last game was a loss. The game before that was a 2-2 draw. These guys got 4 points off of us in our title-winning season. And I think last season is the only time we got a decent result against them ever since they've been promoted. And that was that 3-1 game. And even then, they had us huffing and puffing, scoring 2 absolute bangers. And don't even get me started on that game at Anfield. We scored 4 absolute bangers just to get 3 points off of them. The fact that we conceded 3 times to them is completely beyond me. And we even played them in the Carabao Cup that season as well. And we narrowly beat them 3-2 on aggregate. That first leg was a carbon copy of that Anfield game before. They take an early lead and we scored 2 quick fire goals to win the game. And in the second leg, we took our early lead, but they equalized as well. And they had us tough in the last 10 minutes. And in the season, they actually got promoted. We beat them with a 1-0 Salah penalty at Anfield. And at Craven Cottage, we drew with them 2-2. And in the 2021 season, they even beat us at Anfield, bro. Fulham will always be a team I won't like regardless. And moving on to my number 9 spot, Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, Brighton's hate comes similar with a Fulham one here, in which they don't let us beat them with ease. Boring. I think when it comes to bogey teams, Brighton are 100% up there. This season they took the lead at Anfield and we needed 2 quick fire goals to beat them. In the Carabao Cup game, I think it was kind of comfortable, but still Kwanzaa gave them 2 easy goals and we had to bring on Konate to secure the win. The season before that was exactly the same. They took an early lead and we had to beat them 2-1 narrowly. And at the Amex, we should have won as well, but they managed to scam a draw at the end. And don't get me started on that 22-23 season. That Brighton side was one of the best teams Jurgen Klopp has ever faced. Might be even better than that triple Man City team, because the way that they touched us home and away. Let's start with that first game at Anfield. They went 2-0 up via Trossard and we were stressed out. Thankfully, Firmino was there and he dragged us to a 3-2 lead until Trossard completed his hat-trick and the game ended 3-3. And Trent that day, the way he got cooked that day, it was illegal viewing for most of us. And then we played them at the Amex Stadium, and I don't even want to get into this game that much. Probably the worst Liverpool game I've seen in recent history. But then again, we played them in the FA Cup. We can go to the next round beating them, and we did well. We went 1-0 up away at the Amex. I'm like, yes, we could probably get a win today. Then they got a deflection goal, and then Karl Matoma turned Joe Gomez into Ice Spice. It was another horrible showing. Brighton, again, horrible team to play against. Moving on to number 8, Newcastle United. Same reason as the other 2 mentioned before. Why do they only show up against us? They recently beat us in the League Cup final. I'm not saying they didn't deserve to win it, but again, why did they only show up against us? They were in the top 4 race going to the Etihad and held 4 goals, but when they see Liverpool, you know what? Let's actually do something against them. But I guess it's a League Cup final. They haven't won a trophy in like 70 years, and they actually have to show up for this one. But what pissed me off even more was that league game at St. James's Park this season. Liverpool showed up, and it was a horrible watch. I'm not even going to hold y'all. But Mohamed Salah, one of the greatest individual performances this season in my opinion, dragged us through the mud away at St. James's. St. James's Park is not an easy place to go to, by the way. Fair play to them. Newcastle are an amazing team, but Salah dragged us through. Assists, 2 goals at the end to go 3-2 up, but then they equalized at the death, and I lost my head. We literally wasted a GOAT Mo Salah performance just to get a draw. I guess you could argue that I shouldn't really have them above Fulham and Brighton, because we've been scamming wins against them low-key. Unlike Brighton and Fulham, who actually sometimes take points off of us, Newcastle, they haven't beaten us, not including this cup final, since 2013, I think. But moving on to my number 7 spot, we have Tottenham Hotspur. I don't really hate Tottenham like that, but I have some gripes with them, I guess I should say. Why do they want to block other teams winning trophies? I don't understand that. They're just a obstacle in the way whenever you're trying to win something. In that 21-22 season, when we were chasing the quadruple, those guys actually stopped us from winning the quadruple. I mean, other than top 4, these guys had nothing to play for, but they come scam a draw at Anfield. And in recent memory, we've been lucky against Totnum, if I'm not gonna lie. This season kind of doesn't show it that way. We beat them 5-1 at Anfield, we beat them 6-3 at their ground. But in previous seasons, those guys should have gotten some wins or draws against us. The amount of times that they just hit the bar and just couldn't find the back of the net against us, I kind of understand why some Spurs fans hate Liverpool. But it's not our fault that they can't score goals, is it? Also that game last season at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the absolute farce that was, them shamelessly celebrating a 2-1 win against 9 men, even though we gifted them an own goal. That still sits wrong with me. But other than that, I don't really have any problems with Tottenham Hotspur. Moving on to my number 6 spot, Arsenal Football Club. Now listen, there's a difference between Arsenal as a team and Arsenal's fan base. I've already said before, Arsenal's fan base is the worst in the world. Probably only second to like maybe Real Madrid. But Arsenal's fan base are unbearable. But the team, I don't really mind them. Now that I think about it, Liverpool and Arsenal have a lot of similarities. We both don't like City because they took multiple titles off of us. We don't like Chelsea either. And we don't like Manchester United. We also have a team in our city that we can just little bro the entire time. When you factor all of that in, it kind of doesn't make sense why the two fan bases hate each other like that. But regardless, we don't like Arsenal anyways. Moving on to my number 5 spot. We have Manchester City. They don't got fans, so I can't even hate them like that. But the team itself, bro, 6 league titles, bro. 6. We should have won at least 2 of them. How we didn't win the league with 97 and 99 points is beyond me, bro. Pep Guardiola is an absolute criminal. This brother deadass walked up to the Premier League. 100 points, 98 points, 93 points. Bro, you don't own the sport. And especially seeing them in title races, bro, it's the most annoying thing of all time. This is why this season is probably one of my favorite ones, because we don't have to compete with them for the first time. Arsenal in title races compared to City in title races, complete different things. Because Man City, 20 games win run, we can't touch them. Arsenal, 3 games win, 3 games losses, bro. This is amazing. But other than that, nobody really cares about Man City like that anyways. Moving on to number 4. Chelsea. Where do I begin when it comes to Chelsea? Funny thing is, on Twitter, most of my mutuals are Chelsea fans. That guard of honor we're going to get on Sunday is going to be beautiful. Hopefully this sounds right. I've been recording for like 20 minutes, man, because I'm never using this thing ever again if it doesn't sound good. There's a lot of things to not like about Chelsea Football Club. I'll start with the whole transfer shenanigans. Caicedo and Lavia are probably still the worst things we've ever done in the transfer window. We ended up coming on top at the end, but those days, Lord have mercy. I had a whole bunch of Chelsea fans I wanted to troll. I wake up the next morning, Caicedo wants to stay at Chelsea. What? The amount of stuff I had to delete that day. Horrible, horrible day. But guess what? They're going to give us a guard of honor soon. Oh, and that guard of honor was amazing. We lost 3-1, but that's besides the point. The entire 2000s rivalry was there. Them trying to take Gerrard off of us and everything. We played them numerous times in the Champions League back then. I was not alive, obviously. But still, I get where the hate from Chelsea comes from. For me, when it comes to Chelsea Football Club, maybe because I have so many friends that I know that are Chelsea fans, that makes me just like hate them so much. But I don't really have anything to explain when it comes to Chelsea. They're just really annoying. Number 3. Everton Football Club. Everton, actually, I've realized, at first I thought, Everton, who are they? Why do we care about them? But last season and this season, they've riled me. Especially when we lost to them last season, bro, my head was so hot. I never realized how much I actually didn't like Everton. They had no reason to show up against us last season. They had no reason to win that game last season. And they did. And you know why? Because they're hatred-fueled. This season as well, when they scored the equalizer, the limbs there, they don't like us. They don't like us. And I remember watching that game at campus. I was sitting in my college campus. I had math coming up. I'm like, yes, 2-1 victory. Tarkovsky hit that. I didn't want to load anything. Alt F4, close the computer. We move on to my class. We move on. I didn't even know Curtis Jones and Arne Slot got sent off until the next day. So yeah, Everton make it into my top 3. My number 2, Real Madrid. I've already said numerous times why I don't like them. 2018 final, 2022 final, knocked us out in the 2021 Champions League round of 16. 2023, they smacked us up 5-2. There's a lot of reasons why we don't like Madrid. Trent Alexander-Arnold also going to Real Madrid. These guys are the scummiest team in world football. I'm telling you, they're the worst thing to have ever happened to the sport. And their fan base, Lord have mercy. When it comes to fan bases, I think Arsenal's the only one that can step up to them. Because even in this video I made, smacking up Real Madrid, someone in the comment section telling me about, oh, you got 15 UCLs, this, that. Bro, we don't care that you got 15 Champions Leagues. That's not going to get you to the semifinals this season, is it? It's not. It's not going to let you lose. Them 15 Champions Leagues is not going to help you come back at the Emirates. Them 15 Champions Leagues are not gonna stop Barcelona winning the treble this season. Them 15 Champions Leagues won't stop you from going trophyless this season. If Man United didn't exist, they'd be number one right now. And moving on to Manchester United, we haven't really seen the full potential when it comes to Man United, right? They've been shit for many, many years. And I fear the day that they do come back, because holy crap, their fans are horrible to deal with. 22-23 was bad enough when they finished third. But even last season, we went 0-4 against them. 0-0 at Anfield, 2-2 at Old Trafford. They beat us in the FA Cup. How we didn't beat them once that season is beyond me. And now that I think about it, in our last 5 games against them, we only have one win. One win. This season's performance against United at Anfield is probably one of the worst showings I've seen yet. And how their fans speak up after anything they've done against Liverpool, yo, I fear that they become an actual good club again, because when Man United come back, I'm gonna have to go into hiding. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. Like the video if you haven't already. I have a gaming channel. If you like horror games, right? Hit subscribe on there. We're trying to get to 100 subs on that channel. But anyways, hopefully you guys have a good day. I've yelled a lot, but I'll see y'all next time. Have a good day, people.